Good morning, everybody, and happy 4th of July for those Americans that are watching. For everybody else, happy July 4th and happy Saturday. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the 6 human needs. Here they are again. Take a quick screenshot. So we've spoken about 4. Certainty versus uncertainty, and significance versus love and connection. So what are the last 2? The last 2 are growth and contribution. And this is where if you want to live a fulfilled, a happy, a life worth living, this is where you try and spend all of your time. You try to spend all of your time with growth and contribution being the 2 needs that you're fulfilling as often as possible. When you're fulfilling those needs, no matter what is going on, you're happy. Remember, the secret to living is giving. The secret to happiness is progress. So growth and contribution are where you want to spend your time. If you figure out a way to make it so that the majority of what you're doing, you're fulfilling those 2 needs, you will always have a bountiful life in every way. You will be happy, you will be fulfilled, you will be growing, you'll be contributing because you'll be doing the things that you love doing, and you'll be feeling happy as you do it. So let's talk about some practical ideas. Remember we said if it fulfills 3 of these needs, it becomes an addiction. So did you think about the things that you're addicted to and how they fulfill your needs? Did anybody spend some time thinking about that? Need another sip. So we talked about violence. Okay, why does violence work? Well, if I have no significance whatsoever, if I feel like I'm totally unimportant in the world, but then suddenly I put a gun to your face, do I have certainty? Absolutely. I have certainty that you're going to pay attention to me. Do I have variety? Sure. You have no idea what's going to happen. Do I have significance? Yep. I'm the only person that you're paying attention to. And do I have love and connection? Well, not in a level 10, but we are definitely connected. So let's talk about exercise. People who are addicted to exercise, why are they addicted to exercise? Well, number 1, do they have certainty? Yes. People who are addicted to exercise always know, they always focus on how they're going to feel after they do the exercise. They don't focus on how they feel now and how difficult it is to get there. They focus on, when I get done with this exercise, how good am I going to feel? So that's the certainty do they have? Do they have variety? Absolutely. You never know what's going to happen. Even if you do the same thing, even if you're an exercise person that gets up and does the same route every day you're going to feel differently. First of all, the weather's going to be different, so that's variety. Some days you're going to feel stronger than heck. Some days you're not going to feel stronger than heck. So you get absolute variety. Do you get significance? If you're a person that exercises 5 to 7 days a week, do you get significance? You get all the significance in the world. Because internet's given up. Especially if you do things like you run triathlons or you run marathons or any of that stuff, you get all kinds of love and connection. Do you get growth? You should. If you continue to adjust your exercises, you get growth. Do you get contribution? Maybe. It depends on how you do it. Some people are addicted to school. Some people love learning. Okay, well, why would that be? Do they get certainty? Yes, because they know they're going to be smarter than they were before. Do they get variety? Of course, the topics change. Do they get significance? Of course, they have knowledge. So everybody says, oh my God, you're so smart. How did you? And if they get degree after degree after degree, do they get love and connection? Same thing as exercise. Do they get growth? Absolutely. And remember, it only takes 3. It only takes 3. What about somebody who is constantly injured or ill, constantly in the hospital, constantly has a new ailment. Okay, do they get certainty? Yes. They get certainty that they're going to get attention. They get certainty that they're going to get treated. They get certainty that they're going to become paid attention to and important. Do they get variety? Sure, the ailments are always different. The treatment is always different. Do they get significance? Absolutely. That's what they're going for, is make it about me because I'm always ill so I can talk about myself. Do they get love and connection? They feel like they get love and connection. So that's why they do it. What they really get is obligation. But it feels like love and connection. Is there growth and contribution? No. There's no growth and contribution. Now, they may make it contribution, though, in their head, because they may take their ailments and say, here's how I'm surviving this. Or they might go give counseling to other people with those ailments. And so there they get growth and contribution. So they may use it in a way so that they do, in fact, try to contribute to others. But you can see how it's a way to easily become addicted. Now, you can do this with every activity. Whatever somebody does on a consistent basis, even when they don't want to, in their mind, it fulfills at least 3 of these needs, and usually it fulfills 4 or 5. And if it fulfills all 6, it's over. So, let's take, for me, my job is a great one. Being a lawyer. Do I get certainty? Absolutely. I know that I'm going to be able to help somebody. I know that I'm going to be able to do something positive. Every time I am as certain as all get out when I go to work that I will be able to positively impact somebody's life. Do I get variety? Oh my God. Every phone call is different. Every case is different. Every phone call is different. Everything's different. It's always new stuff, new laws, new challenges, new fact patterns. It changes and changes and changes. Do I get significance? You bet. People call me up, oh my God, you're so good and thank you so much. And, so I get a lot of significance because people keep saying, you help me out so much and you're so good at what you do and you're so smart. Do I get love and connection? Same thing. I can't believe how much you help me. I can't believe how much. Do I get growth? I constantly have to be learning new things. And do I get contribution? Sure, I'm having an incredibly positive impact on people's lives. So all 6. You can see why I absolutely love what I do and why I do it as much as possible. And when things in my life go weird, that's where I go. I go to work because I know unconsciously I do this. Now I do it consciously, but because I know that that's where I'm going to be able to fulfill my needs and am going to be able to have the most impact. And I have the most certainty about that. So if in the past when I was in a relationship that wasn't working, I would just say, I'm going to go to work. And I'm going to go to work because I know that I can do something there that makes a difference. We all have 2 of these needs that are primaries. And this is your assignment for you today. And you need to ask those around you. What are the 2 needs that are most significant to you? You want them to be growth and contribution. That's your goal. That's the goal for all of us, to have our top 2 needs that we focus on to be growth and contribution. The ones that you want to avoid are certainty and significance. Now, people whose top 2 needs are certainty and significance. And here's the thing. If one of those needs is in your top 2, you're going to have challenges. Because certainty, can you control everything? Absolutely not. And will it drive you crazy trying to control everything? Yep. And if significance is in your top 2, if it's about you, if it's about being significant, ultimately you're going to choose that over the connections to the people that you love. And that's going to take away growth and contribution. It's going to take away love and connection. And you'll not have a happy life at the end of your life. At the end of your life, you will have achieved the things that you wanted to achieve for yourself, but you're not going to have the good connection with your family. You're not going to have the good connection with the people that you tried to be in relationships with. And if you have both of those 2, as you're 1 and 2, you are hosed, because you will end up alienating everybody around you over time. So, our assignment for today, go through and learn these. Certainty versus variety, significance versus love and connection, and then growth and contribution. They're in a bullseye for a reason. You're trying to get to the center. Think about things that you are addicted to. How do they fulfill your needs? Remember, it's your interpretation of those things as to how they fulfill your needs. Ask the people around you, what are your top needs? What is it that you're trying to fulfill all the time and most? And then, if there's something in your life that you want more of in your life, figure out how it fulfills your needs. So, whenever we do this at a Tony event, whenever Tony starts talking about this, he looks for the person who's addicted to cleaning their house. Because there's always somebody who will raise their hand and say, I love cleaning my house, okay? But then you ask them, why? How do you get certainty? Well, we know that. We know that the house is going to look better than when it's done. How do you get variety? Well, because it's always different. But here's what you find out. It's what they do while they're cleaning their house that fulfills their needs. They'll listen to motivational tapes, or they'll listen to music, or one lady would pray for her children. And then while she was cleaning the house, she would do little special things around the house for the family members. And the family looked forward to it. So she would leave little notes, or she would leave little presents or surprises, or she would make little treats, little candy treats or food treats, and leave them for them in their rooms or in special places. So she created a way for it to fulfill her needs. So she felt like she was growing, she felt like she was contributing, she had variety, she had certainty, she had significance, and she had love and connection. I've told you how people who exercise do it. People who exercise and are addicted to exercise, that's how they look at it. As they're growing, they get significance, they get love and connection, they get variety, they get certainty. So what is it that you want to insert in your life, and how can you have it fulfill these needs so that it becomes an addiction for you? What can you add to that event to make it so that you want to do it? And, utilizing this device is a great way to do that, so that you can add something entertaining or educational or both while you're working on that event. And if you've got something that you are addicted to, if you do it all the time and you don't want to be addicted to it, then ask yourself, how is it that this fulfills my needs? And then ask yourself, really, does it really fulfill my needs? If you feel like you get love and connection with this, is it really love and connection, or is it obligation? Are you really growing, or is it just the same thing over and over again? Does it really give you variety, or are your top needs certainty and significance, and it drives those two needs, which, if your top needs are certainty and significance, ultimately you're going to push everybody else away, because you're going to choose what's best for you, and you're not going to choose what's best for us, all of us, including you. So I hope that makes some sense. Work with it for a little while. Sometimes this stuff is like riding a bike. When you first start out, maybe not so hot, but as you keep working at it, then you're going to get better and better and better. I love this method for figuring out why people do what they do. It works for me. Find one that works for you. That's my message. It doesn't have to be this one. The Myers-Briggs is genius. It's unbelievable. They won the Nobel Prize for it. There's a reason that they did, is because it's that good. So if you could master that one, go master it. My daughter's extraordinary at it. But find a filter, at least one, that you can use, so that when somebody is acting out, which is happening a lot today because people are losing their certainty, when somebody is acting out, rather than responding to that reaction, you can ask yourself, why are they doing this? There's a reason. There's a positive intent. In their brain, there's a positive intent. So try to figure out, what is it? And how can I help, or can I at least understand why this person is doing what they're doing? Happy 4th of July. For all of you Americans, we hold these truths to be self-evident. I watched Hamilton last night, It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, please do. For all of us, we're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.